react to Derek FTB's video about horror games that I could easily survive, part 2. So let's get on with it.
You know, horror games are easily the coolest and most immersive way to experience the horror genre. Every step you take, every decision you make is determined by no other than you. But what if we were in these games? Would we survive? Well, that's exactly what we'll be doing today. Today, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'll be going over even more horror games I could easily survive. And as usual, say it with me now, I'll be giving you guys my strategy, my game plan, my thought process, and obviously, some of the ones that I can't.
Oh, this game.
I'm starting with
I could never beat this game. I have tried playing this many times. It just scares you and it just annoys you after a while because it's just repetitive and you really can't do anything like apart from going to YouTube and then looking at videos about how to progress further. Like this is a very like anger inducing game for me especially.
a bit of a tricky one. Outlast. We play as this journalist investigating an abandoned asylum after hearing word of some inhumane experiments happening there. I just, why would you go there? And upon arriving there,
And if you're going there, like at least inform the police or something that you're going to investigate this stuff, or inform your company that if you don't get a message from me, or if you don't get a call from me at this time, that may mean I'm in trouble, and then call you, please call for help. But no, we don't do any of that stuff. We just go in like not informing anyone about this, going into a fucking mental asylum. Nah, that just doesn't make any freaking sense to me. How even?
it was worse than we could have imagined. These experiments caused these patients to become variants, pretty much these mutated, violent monster things. And after realizing how dangerous this problem is, you try to find a way out the asylum. Boom. That's the setup we're dealing with. Now, this one is a very difficult one to start off. I was 11 when this game came out, and all I remember is I refused to play it because it was so
I
scary.
was
I
10.
knew it was bad when I couldn't even watch the Rad Brad play it. Not only are we trapped in a loop,
Man, Rat Brad is such a legend, man. He's an OG. Like, when I got into, video games and all, he was the first guy that I watched because his it's just gameplay, him just saying some stuff. It's like a normal guy. He sat down to play video games and that's that. He's not extreme, he's not totally silent. He's just a normal guy playing video games, and that has brought him so much success. Like him, like if you just want to like chill or have time pass or something, just watch him or like watch Hollow play video games, and it'll be the most you will not even know like 2 3 hours have gone by. Like that's it. And he's the OG, man. How many years has he been doing this? Like, I think it's been more than a decade. Like, it's been good, and he has been doing the same content for like 10 plus years, man. That's something. That's something.
been this dark, has small corridors, and probably smells crazy, but we also have to deal with the variants. And while most of them are just crazy humans with no pain tolerance, there is one we really gotta look out for. Chris Walker, a mutated 6'9", 300-pound plus monster. To put it in perspective, that means we're dealing with someone the same height as LeBron James and around, I don't know, half the weight of Rod Wave. This is a scary, formidable opponent. And might I add, he has experience. This dude isn't like Springtrap just murking children for no reason. This dude murks grown men for no reason. He has bodies. And me, I'm just an investigative journalist with nothing but passion, a Canon camera, and a pair of AA batteries. What am I gonna do? And I sat on this one for a long, long time. I'm probably getting cut.
Yeah,
This one
man.
just ain't even fair.
Like, I don't get one thing. that of course he is not trained, so he cannot fight and and everything. But man, I am not trained also, but I can still pick up a weapon or something. Like there is so much stuff. You can pick up rocks, you can pick up sticks, you can pick up rods. You don't need to be trained to use that. But apparently in Outlast you have to be like, how are you even surviving, man? Like, even if the lights are dimly on, like you're scared as shit. And can you imagine in real life going through like a dark room or like a dark building with just like a fucking DSLR camera, and from like nowhere someone just pops out and you have to run you while using that DSLR camera? Like no one is surviving. Like even Usain Bolt can't, because he knows how to run from one point to another fast. Here he doesn't know where's the starting point or the end point. He's gonna get cooked. So we're gonna get cooked too. Like we ain't surviving. We are not going past, the guys in the wheelchair, the guy who like jumps on you from out of like nowhere. He just sitting there. He's like, "Whoa." Like, how even are you going to survive that? And only way we get to know about the story is through like research journals or like letters that are scattered throughout the building. And even in cutscenes, we get saved because either we escape, and we escape through if something like happens there and we get lucky and we escape. We escape if like the killer is just having fun and he lets us go. Like we are literally not doing anything with our hands, with our legs. We are just living on luck. Like in real life, I don't think any of us are outlasting Outlast. It just ain't happening. It just ain't happening.
Bruh. In the wise words of Kendrick, it ain't 20v1, it's a 1v20. It's just me by myself versus all these variants in this dirty, rundown
Yeah,
asylum.
man.
Remove Chris.
Like even if you're not fighting, even if you like get past them, you know, how much chance is there for you to get some kind of fucking disease or something by being there? You got no food, no water, and then in this fucking like mental asylum, there's no cleaning, there's nothing. So you are, even if you like escape alive, you're probably coming back with, you know, like losing a few pounds, probably with some kind of staph infection or something. And the mental trauma is another aspect of this.
Walking from the situation, and I maybe might die 30 minutes in. If I step in there, I'm literally finished. Like, yeah, I know I'm the fastest to ever do it. Good job, good job, good job. But a crammed space like this is not good for me. If it was me that got the anonymous tip about the experiments they were doing here, I would have even showed up.
But if it was me for the anonymous, I would have probably shared it with a friend or someone that I trust if I don't want to like get this out in the public, get the scoop first, and maybe inform someone in the police or somebody, or inform someone that you trust, that if you don't get this signal or something, that I'm going somewhere dangerous, like if I don't come back in this much days, I'm in trouble. So so that everyone is informed that there is a ray of hope, that maybe some kind of external force is there that can save me if I don't get back in eventual time, which I don't think our character does in any of the Outlast games. Any. Oh,
For those of you
this man. I have watched the Fears of Fathom on YouTube. Like I've got to say, like be it Fears of Fathom or be it any puppet combo games, like you get invested in it, and the way that they scare you, the way that they pull you in and like just shoot you out of nowhere, like it's something else. Like it makes you scared of stuff. Like I can't even, express myself about how these games make you feel. But they really suck you in. Like if you're wearing earphones and watching, you get sucked into the game. And then when that first jump scare hits, man, it's like your soul has come out of your body, man. It's whoa. Like better than many of these horror games that are like made by big AAA promotions. Like Puppet Combo and Fears of Fathom is something else. Something else.
Who don't know this one, Fears to Fathom is a psychological horror game series where us, the main character, play through super duper scary and realistic scenarios. Isolation, home invasion, some stalking, on occasion. Chill, don't hype me out, don't hype me out. And while it sounds like it's whatevs on paper, the atmosphere of these games will change your mind fast. And not only is the atmosphere scary, but even the NPCs are scary. Like these dudes are chopped. And to make things even scarier, every episode.
Yeah, especially in this and that game that where he is, pointing and saying, like everyone looks at you like you look at everyone and you see like a fucking suspect, a fucking perpetrator, like who's out there to get you. Like everyone in that game is fucking shady. Like our friend is freaking shady. I don't think that it is that game, but man, it's
of this game is based on a real life event. Like y'all know how the movies be
yeah,
having based
that
on a true
scares
story in
me.
the beginning or end? Yeah, that's this game. Based on a true story. Every single one of them. There's a lot of episodes to pick from in this one, so I'm gonna just go with the one that's scariest to me. Fears to Fathom, episode 3, Carson House. In this one, we played as this 18-year-old named Noah back in 2009. Golly, 2009? Some of y'all didn't even exist. We were tasked to look after someone's crib for a weekend for a whopping $100.
a
Doing some
hundred
grocery shopping, fixing.
$100 for like a weekend. Like that's like near 9,000 or something for like 2 days. What do you have in your house? Like I like his computer is like fucked up. Like we should have gotten out of that house after that fucking video that we watch on the computer. Like we would have, I would have gotten out of that house.
the computer, taking a piss, feeding the dog, still taking a piss. Dang, bro.
Damn.
As the night goes on, weirder and weirder stuff starts happening. Random knocks on the door, strange text messages, random noises in the house, and that's when it's revealed that someone has broken into the house.
That jump scare when that fucking text message hits you and she is like she gets the noise and she's like, ooh, like that jump scare and that jump scare you get when you go to the fucking front yard and she just pops out of nowhere. That those two jump scare get me. Those two jump scares get me.
We got an intruder on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is something everyone who has ever been home alone has feared. Random person breaking into your crib at a random given time, scariest being nighttime, and you being forced to 1v1 them. It's a scary thought, but it ain't nothing I can handle. To truly come up with a proper plan to beat this one, I gotta understand two things. One, who is the intruder? And two, what do they want? Throughout the course of the game, we get little hints of who it may be via text messages, flowers at our door, and other stuff. But once we get into the end game, that's when it's revealed that the home intruder is actually our psycho ex-girlfriend, Kara. I know, shocking. And what does she want, you
But
may.
look at the blackness under those eyes. Like they are the blackness that I have. Like this bitch ain't been sleeping that much. Like first of all, I don't get this one thing that keeps irking me. That if like she talks to us at the end of the end before the end sequence of the game, and she's like, I'll kill you and I'll kill that bitch. Why don't you get back with me? But before that conversation, we don't have any conversation. So if I just die, I die. But you want to get back together, right? So why do you want to kill me then? At least, you know, talk your talk and then kill me. At least I know the reason. Otherwise, it looks like You're fucking confusing my head that you want me, but you're gonna kill me already. Like, that just fucking doesn't make sense to me.
Ask? Well, of course. To get back with your boy. I don't blame her. I don't
Eh,
blame her. Not a surprise. But now that we know all the background, here's the plan. Since I'm more familiar with the Carson crib than she is, I say we use this to our advantage and do a little bit of camping, if you will. Imagine this. She walks into the crib, roaming the bottom floor looking for me. No one. Oh, no one. I'm watching her on the camera as she finishes searching the bottom floor. She
oh
makes
man, imagine if you're in a stranger's house and you just hear that. Like, that's fucking. Like, that thought gives me goosebumps, man. Like, first of all, what I would have done to survive is if I get into a stranger's home, if I'm leaving, if I'm in the home, I'm shutting the doors, I'm shutting the unnecessary lights, and I'm putting the curtains on. I'm, making sure that everything is locked. Only then I'm doing any business. Be it going outside, be it inside the house, only then. Nah, man, but in this game, it's like, this door is open, that door is not locked. Well, you are at someone else's house. You don't know the environment. You have a crazy ex too, which you have a crazy ex. It's not like she disappeared or something. So do basic diligent stuff, man, which they don't do. And if you have even one sign of someone entering that home, call the police. Do not be like, oh, I gotta escape first, then I'll call the police. No way. You see that? You lock the doors where you are in. You lock the door. You you dim the lights in your room, and you call the police, and you take a weapon and you wait in a corner. That's what you do. Not play like a fucking mini Friday Nights in Freddy's inside a Fears of Fathom game. That's not what you do.
her way upstairs and approaches the room I'm in. Noah, I know you're in there. Open up, Noah, before I... Hey, Kara, I think we should get back together. Really? Yeah, really. Here, I'll unlock the door. Come inside. Let's talk about it. All right. I just can't believe you really changed your mind that... That's an easy win. Only thing we really gotta look out for with her is her durability. Cause turns out the reason we broke up with Kara is cause Kara be on that meth. So I don't really know if one swing of the
She on
bat
that
would do the
Walter
trick. We
White
might have to do
stuff.
4 or 5 or maybe even 12 depending on her dosage. Don't do meth.
Oh my god, this game. And first of all, just because we both have, blacks under our eyes, that doesn't mean I smoke meth. That's because of the lack of sleep I have had over the years. And second, man, she ain't gonna get back together. Oh, no, she's gonna get back together. She's gonna fucking cut your face and wear that as a mask when she goes outside. That's what's gonna happen.
We all know the franchise, Resident Evil, recognizable because of its elite games and
Yeah.
its its movies. The Resident Evil games have always been known for being scary. Like, I remember trying to play Resident Evil 4 on my PS2 when I was but a wee little lad. And emphasis on trying, because I could not get through that game at all. Yeah, there's been some scary Resident Evil games over the years, but Resident Evil 7, this one is hands down the scariest.
Yeah, these kind of games I'll never be able to finish. Like, the only games that I could finish are story games. Otherwise, these kinds of games where you have to combine stuff, where you have to do this stuff, I can never, finish them. So even if I, start gaming on this channel, I'll never play these kind of games because I'll never be able to finish them.
I said put your hand down. In this one we play as this guy named Ethan who ventures onto a plantation in the state of Louisiana after we received a message from our wife who had been missing for 3 years. And after entering a house on the plantation, we find our wife, but she tells us that message was not from her. And after realizing her wife is now some sort of infected zombie thing and a failed escape, we
I remember when I first watched the gameplay of this, and she turned like it was such like a whoa, what the hell is happening moment, and like she was beating her ass. The way her face like had that black thing, she cut her arm off like that. I cannot describe how like that, how like my face was like this, like how, but it was also very fun, watching that for the first time.
come face to face with the Baker family. A regular Louisiana family turned murderous and cannibalistic after being infected. And the infection didn't just turn them violent, it also turned them into mutants, giving them super strength, the ability to regenerate, extra intelligence, and some their very own transformation. Is that a sack? And after seeing how truly insane they are, we have
Every gameplay I watched, that fucking thing was just hanging there, and like we had to sugar it so that we can beat her. It was nasty, 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 nasty.
to run, fight, and find a way off the plantation. Look, I'm gonna start with this. Plantation and Louisiana in the same sentence would have been enough for me to not go over there.
Bro, he is fucking stupid. When you have two videos, that first video where she's like she's okay and everything, second is where she's like all frantic and all that, do not come, do not come. First of all, it's been 3 years. Second of all, if I get like a video where my wife is like, oh my god, uh, and it's been 3 years and she's saying do not come. First, I will not go there. Second, if I'm going there, I'm going there with the police because I know some bad shit is happening there. You're calling me into a plantation? Like this is where people get buried. Like I have read the Ram Rahim case. I have read about people being buried on this type of stuff. So I'm calling the police and we all going together to save you. Otherwise, it's been 3 years. I have moved on. You have moved on too because you clearly said, "Do not come save me," and I will not save you because you're free, I'm free. I ain't coming to no plantation, okay? No way that's happening.
Combo that with the Baker family trying to eat me or make me part of their family or whatever, and I'm definitely good off that. And some of you guys might be like, but Derek, you gotta save your wife. What about your wife? What about her? Come on, buddy. It's been 3 years, bruh. It's time for me to move on and get on one of them dating sites. Is Tinder still a thing? Honestly, even if it was a month of her being gone instead of
Freaking Tinder. Useless. Bumble. Useless. Hinge. Useless. Shavroy. Useless.
3 years, I wouldn't go. She told me herself, do not come get her. And as the
Wow.
respectful husband that I am, if the missus tells me to not go get her, I ain't going. Because if I did, that's called stepping over her boundaries, fellas. Take notes, take notes. But let's say I did go. I did go to the creepy plantation mansion. What would happen then? Well, I would immediately die. Because the second we do find our wife, she turns on us because she's infected or whatever and chops off our hand. This is ridiculous. Really? 3 years of marriage and I come save you and this is how you repay me? I took you to Cheesecake Factory. And I know we get our hands stitched back on, but the mental damage is already done. Plus, I don't know how much of that green juice is really gonna help with the broken ribs she gave me earlier after throwing me into that wall. Resident Evil 7, I'm not surviving, sadly. Farthest I get is that fight with that sack lady. After that, I'm finished.
Yeah, most of that game is just us getting, just thrown around, man. No normal human would survive those injuries. Like, you can pour that shit on your arm anytime, but those broken ribs, those broken arms, they ain't getting any, healthier just by putting the liquid shit on your, like, left hand. That ain't happening.
Now, this one may look all innocent and sweet, but hear me out. Amanda the Adventurer is about this old children's show revolving this girl named Amanda and her sidekick Willie. So think Dora, but instead of being Mexican, she's black, and instead of Boots being a monkey, he's a lame sheep. We find these VHS tapes of the show and watch a few episodes, and everything seems normal. But as we continue watching them, they start to get stranger and stranger until Amanda is straight up talking about death and threatening to turn Willie into lamb chops. And if we upset Amanda, that violence will be turned against us too. So we're dealing with some cursed tapes, ladies and gentlemen. It's sort of like The Ring. And just like The Ring, I know the perfect solution. Maybe stop watching the tapes when stuff gets weird. Really though,
It's
how many
simple, man, because for what I know, she doesn't immediately starts haunting you. She does weird stuff in between. And if I get like a children's show and it starts doing weird glitchy stuff, and if it does not have like the WWE logo on the side, and I'm not seeing the Y86 on the screen, I'm taking that cassette out and I'm sending it to my worst enemy. Okay? I'm sending it to my worst enemy and I'm gonna say, play this, you'll have a good night's sleep. That's what's happening. I am not gonna, wait for her to start haunting me, to wait for that fucking spider creature to come and get me. That is not happening.
times you gotta see Amanda intimidate Willie with her evil stares or have her genuinely tweaking out when you get an answer wrong before you decide, yeah, maybe leave the mystery solving to the detectives. I couldn't even watch Danger Dolan for too long before getting scared, so I know from experience that creepy video stuff ain't my jam. But let's just say for funsies, I watched every tape. And we all know I'm not solving the mystery, so the tall, lanky monster version of Amanda comes after me. What then? Well, judging by the physique of this thing, it doesn't look like it will be that tough to combat. Yeah, it is rocking them British veneers and some gnarly acrylics, but that pelvic bone is giving off a lot of
Ooh,
malnourished energy. I don't know what it
ooh,
is.
that is shaped like half a cookie. Like that fucking thing is shaped like half a cookie or something. Fucking gray, half-shaped cookie. Weird.
Got it weighing at most a buck 80. And yeah, I know it's fast and all, but with them flimsy joints, all I gotta do is hit him with a little right to the knee and bada boom, bada bing. That's a win for me.
That's difficult. I don't think that's
Now, this one
happening.
may seem insanely difficult, but like I said for the last one, just hear me out. In Silent Hill 2, we follow this blonde dude named James who, after receiving a letter from his deceased wife, damn, we got a lot of X's in this video. What's going on? He goes to Silent Hill, this town in Gulf.
Like Silent Hill was the game that everyone used to talk about. Like these are the worst games. Not like the worst in game quality, like in scares. Like you get scared the most playing these games. You shouldn't play these games. I remember my parents refused to buy me Silent Hill because of that, those visuals. It had Pyramid Head. It had other things which were like very hard for me to comprehend as a child. Like what is this stuff? Like even if you would used to watch stuff on like YouTube or something, like it used to be such weird stuff. It still is, but at that time you could understand it even more. It was just like very creepy, very like, vast, vast amounts of just weird, creepy stuff and horrifying, haunting stuff, which was not easy to comprehend for a younger brain. That was Silent Hill for me.
And fog with monsters everywhere, creepy buildings, and blah 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 blah. I know what y'all are here for. Y'all want to know if I can defeat the big bad in this one. Pyramid Head. Dude with a massive pyramid on his head, holding a big sword. Super scary looking dude. Like when I saw the '06 movie, which in my opinion is it's not that bad. The sound of that siren and the image of Pyramid Head were burned into my mind. But now after looking back and after playing the original Silent Hill 2, this dude is not on anything. He's like those muscle heads who don't know how to fight, just all appearing.
I mean, Pyramid Head is the Karen Cross of Silent Hill. Like you can see him, you can get the look, the promos are good, the aura is good, but when the bell rings, just too slow, just too sloppy. And that's what Head is in Silent Hill 2.
No skill. Like, look at this gameplay. Come on, bro. You gotta keep it a bug. It's just scary.
Nah, man, look at this stupid man. He's carrying a weapon that he is also unable to like wield around because it's so goddamn heavy. And also because one thing, he's got a little pyramid for a head. Fucking stupid.
You, he can have all the menacing energy in the world, but the second he swings, he loses all of it. I could easily run away or even walk away with a dude swinging like this, but let's say it is the movie version of him or the remake version. I haven't played it yet, but I assume he has better hands than this one. What are my chances then? Well, 100%. Because the thing about Pyramid Head is he's not even real. He's a figment of James's imagination after feeling all that guilt for killing his wife. And if I'm in control of James's body in this situation, I don't have a shred of guilt.
Nah, man. Even if you have killed for killing, you're imagining pyramid heads, weird aliens, weird towns. Like it's just not pyramid head. There is just a bunch of weird sex stuff that is happening. Like, is this what your guilt has manifested into? I doubt it's just that you're watching some freaky stuff on that phone. That's also affecting your imagination, man. Otherwise, how do you even get these things, man? It's not possible. It's not possible at all just because of it. It's just not possible.
It wasn't my wife that got killed. So I won't be manifesting or whatever any of these
Nah, man. What kind
monsters,
of
this
logic is
creepy
that, man?
environment, and
That
most
doesn't make any
importantly,
sense.
I won't be manifesting Pyramid Head. It's that easy. Come on now.
Nah,
Come
man.
on
Nah.
now. Now, if he was real. As you guys can see though, once again, I survived and maintained my record of... What is my record in these videos? Can one of y'all find that out for me?
So that was the video. So if you like this kind type of content, if you want to do me more, first you can tell that to me in the comments. If you like this type of content, like the video, share and subscribe. If you don't, then share it with those who do. Donate to my UPI ID ShapWire@OKICICI because I want to make YouTube a career option. Then I have my social media links in the description, in my Twitter and Instagram links. You can go follow me there. And that's it for this video. So thank you. Goodbye. Alvida.